Harvey Philip Spector was an American record producer, musician, and songwriter known for his innovative recording practices and entrepreneurship in the 1960s, followed decades later by his trial and conviction for murder in the 2000s of Lana Clarkson. Spector developed the Wall of Sound, a music production formula he described as a Wagnerian approach to rock and roll. He is regarded as one of the most influential figures in pop music history and as the first auteur of the music industry for the unprecedented control he had over every phase of the recording process. In 2009, after spending 3 decades in semi-retirement, he was convicted for the 2003 murder of the actress Lana Clarkson and sentenced to 19 years to life in prison. Born in the Bronx, Spector began his career in 1958 as co-founder, guitarist, and vocalist of the Teddy Bears, penning their U.S. #1 single "To Know Him Is to Love Him." In 1960, he co-founded Phillies Records, and at the age of 21 became the youngest ever U.S. label owner to that point. Throughout the 1960s, he wrote, co-wrote, or produced records for acts such as the Ronettes, the Crystals, and Ike and Tina Turner. He typically collaborated with arranger Jack Nish, engineer Larry Levine, and a de facto house band that later became known as the Wrecking Crew. Spector's multi-artist compilation album A Christmas Gift for You from Phillies Records, 1963, is widely considered to be the finest Christmas record of all time. In the early 1970s, Spector produced the Beatles' album Let It Be, 1970, and several solo records by the band's John Lennon and George Harrison. By the mid-1970s, Spector had produced 18 U.S. top 10 singles for various artists, but following work with Leonard Cohen, Dion DiMucci, and the Ramones, he remained largely inactive and affected by personal struggles. His chart toppers included You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin', co-written and produced for the Righteous Brothers, 1964, The Long and Winding Road, produced for the Beatles, 1970, and My Sweet Lord, co-produced for Harrison, 1970. According to BMI, You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin' is the song that received the most U.S. airplay in the 20th century. Dubbed the first tycoon of teen, Spector helped establish the role of the studio as an instrument, the integration of pop art aesthetics into music, art pop, and the genres of art rock and dream pop. His honors include the 1973 Grammy Award for Album of the Year for co-producing Harrison's Concert for Bangladesh, 1971, a 1989 induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and a 1997 induction into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. In 2004, Rolling Stone magazine ranked Spector number 63 on their list of the greatest artists in history. Spector testified in a 2005 court deposition that he had been treated for bipolar disorder, manic depression, for 8 years, saying, "No sleep, depression, mood changes, mood swings, hard to live with, hard to concentrate, just a hard time getting through life. I've been called a genius and I think a genius is not there all the time and has borderline insanity." In the first criminal trial for the Clarkson murder, defense expert and forensic pathologist Dr. Vincent DeMaio, MD, asserted that Spector might be suffering from Parkinson's disease, stating, "Look at Mr. Spector. He has Parkinson's features. He trembles." California Department of Corrections photos from 2013, released in September 2014, show evidence of a progressive deterioration in Spector's health, according to observers. He had been an inmate at the California Health Care Facility, a prison hospital, in Stockton since October 2013. In September 2014, it was reported that Spector had lost his ability to speak, owing to laryngeal papillomatosis. Spector died in a prison hospital on January 16, 2021. His daughter Nicole Audrey Spector attributed his death to complications of COVID-19, with which Spector was diagnosed in December 2020.